Here's what I'm interested in. Barron Trump. He's 18. He's not a kid. He's very young. He's an adult.
Taking one look at the Trump family, it's easy to presume that we have seen all there is to see about the family. However, some members of the family, like Trump's youngest son, Barron Trump, have been shielded from the public eye and allowed to live their lives in private. Over the years, he has paved his own part and is poised to do even greater things in the future. Jesse Waters from Fox News has just made some interesting revelations about Barron that many people have heard nothing about, providing insight into what we are to expect from Barron, especially as he prepares to pick his own path. From these revelations, we have put together some amazing and shocking facts about Barron that you have never known before. Number 1 will blow you away. Number 20. Inspiration for the name Barron. Do you know that the name Barron didn't just come to the minds of Barron's parents at the time he was born? The history and fondness for the name go way back before Barron was born and even before he was conceived. Back in the 1980s, when Trump was still very much invested in his real estate venture, he made use of well-known alias, John Barron, making the name one that is so dear to his heart and holding significant value. It seems to tell the story of everything he has ever worked for and everything that has gotten him to where he is at the moment. It's surprising that he held on to the name till the birth of his last son and never gave it to his other sons. However, it appears Trump wasn't the only deciding factor on the name. His wife Melania was reportedly so fond of the name and even addressed the baby as Barron while he was still in her belly. Number 19. Barron's conception was unexpected. At the time of his birth, Barron was seen as a special child in his own right. To begin with, he got conceived at a time when both Trump and Melania were not expecting to have a baby. To put things in perspective, Donald Trump Jr., Trump's first child, was already 28 years old at the time Barron was born in 2006. I bet Trump thought he would never have another child, but nature had a different fate for him. Despite the unexpected conception, both Trump and Melania have showered Barron with all the love that he needs, treating him as their precious gem. With other children grown enough to fend for themselves, Trump and Melania had all the time in the world to focus on bringing Barron up the best way they could, and this has raised the public expectation on Barron over the years. Number 18. Barron and Trump are more alike than you think. As they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Barron has shown some striking similarities with his father, both in his appearance and interests. Seeing him, one could easily see the same confidence that characterizes Trump, which never wavers even when faced with a large crowd. This trait is highlighted by the towering stature that they both share. Also, when it comes to interests, Barron has also been taken by some activities that his father takes pride in. Just like Trump, he has taken up the game of golf, showcasing the skills that he has built over the years. There are also rumors that he might be as politically inclined as his father. But we wait to see how that plays out in the future. Number 17. Barron is trilingual. In the Trump household, almost everyone is bilingual, with each of them being well at home with the English language and also having a knowledge of French to go with it. However, Barron has been privileged to add one more to the list. He has mastered his mother's Slovenian tongue, which has added some level of sophistication to his person. He became fluent in both English and Slovenian at a very young age, which allowed him to communicate freely with his mother and grandparents. Melania has been seen in interviews, speaking of her son's capability. At the age of 3, Barron was already fluent in Slovenian and was making major progress in his French lessons. All these are testaments to his ever-growing intelligence and ability to adapt to various situations, which has significantly increased the public expectations on his side. Number 16. Barron encountered a stalker. As much as fame does have its perks, there are some obvious downsides that keep famous people on their toes at every turn. Barron got a feel of this other side in 2023. He encountered someone that many have described as a stalker, who rattled Barron with threats that she was going to do both Barron and his father harm. The lady in question was Tracy Marie Florenza, and she sent emails where she issued threats against Barron and his father, which necessitated the intervention of the Secret Service. The lady was apprehended and charged to court, where it was discovered that she has been known to issue similar threats to other prominent figures she has come across. Some believed that she was mentally unbalanced, but due diligence had to be followed in the matter to avoid unforeseen issues. This goes to show the need for continued vigilance for popular figures even when one is no longer in office. Number 15. Adapting to the scrutiny. One would expect that being associated with a one-time president of the United States in any way would attract a significant amount of scrutiny from the public, but very few can foresee how such pressure would have turned out on a young lad like Barron. At a very early age, he was forced to watch his every move as everyone's focus was on his every move. For Barron, this wasn't exactly a big deal as he was prepped from a very early age for such attention. When Barron was still 8, he made his first appearance on television on The Apprentice, one of the shows that was run by his father. However, Melania was determined to shield her child from the pressures, making sure that he had as normal a childhood as possible. Number 14. A life filled with opportunities. One perk of being a Trump is the infinite opportunities that come with the family's large resources and widespread influence. Beyond his father's business empire, Barron has been exposed to various interests which have the potential to give him all that he needs to make a future career choice. To begin with, Trump and Melania made sure that Barron got his education in some of the most prestigious institutions in the United States, helping him build the skills and knowledge required to navigate through life. Also, they have allowed him to nurture his passions in soccer and golf, providing alternatives. If he wants, he has also been groomed to take up a career in politics. He has had the opportunity to see how things work up close in the White House and has also followed his father to several events. With such a network, he could pursue a career in politics, where his father's influence would be very instrumental. Number 13. Melania made Barron a priority. Do you remember how we mentioned that Melania was very committed to seeing that Barron had a normal childhood? It's more serious than you think. One would think that Melania must have gotten so busy with being a first lady that Barron must have grown up, surrounded by butlers and nannies, but that would be a wrong assumption. Despite the tight schedules, Melania made Barron her priority in the White House. She was available to care for him and never left him in the care of any nanny. The bond that exists between the boy and his mother can't be overemphasized. One look would convince you. Even when Trump won the election in 2016, Melania delayed moving to Washington, giving Barron the time to finish his schoolwork before they could move. This way, she has provided some stability for Barron and still looks out for him. Number 12. Barron has an intimidating height and personality. At 6'8", Barron's towering figure has been found to be far above his father's, who has been known to be quite tall himself. This has also translated into his bold personality, adding to the qualities that he needs to carry on with his father's legacy. Maintaining the lifestyle of a high-profile individual comes with unique challenges that require some level of boldness to face. This, however, won't be a problem for Barron, who started showing his boldness from a really young age. One of the most popular incidents that people have made reference to over the years was that involving an attendant, Tony Sinol, where Barron had instructed him to sit down for a conversation. As he continues to grow, he has become even bolder, taking after his father, who has been pretty outspoken himself, being one of his most distinctive qualities. Number 11. Peculiar choice in fashion. Although there have been varying opinions on this subject, as it relates to Barron, there have been some noticeable patterns in Barron's fashion choices. The one that stands out the most seems to be his obsession with the New Balance sneakers. This brand was clearly his favorite, and he must have been taken with the combination of style and comfort that comes with it. It seemed he was involved in marketing the brand at the time, as he effortlessly blended the sneakers with both formal and casual outfits. However, people didn't always look up to Barron as an influence for their fashion choices. At the time he entered the White House newly, following his father's presidency, some saw his style as too casual for a person of his status. Over the years, he has improved significantly, quickly becoming a major influence in fashion choices for people his age. Number 10. Good educational experience. One would expect that Barron must have been homeschooled, considering that his parents' status drew significant attention. However, homeschooling isn't part of the Trump family philosophy. While they made sure that Barron attended some of the best schools, it was integral that he grew up in the company of his peers. His educational journey started at the Columbia Grammar and Preparatory School in Manhattan, which was an exclusive private school that his father's wealth could afford him. By the time he was done, Trump had already moved to the White House, and he soon followed with his mother. He continued his education at St. Andrew's Episcopal School and later Oxbridge Academy after Trump's presidency. In all, he has managed to navigate his educational challenges and has recently graduated from college, poised to face the world and carry on with his father's legacy. Number 9. Adjusting to life in the White House. The switch from a normal kid to one of the most recognized citizens wasn't an easy one for Barron, but thanks to the efforts of his mother, he was let in easily and allowed to adjust at his own pace. Ever committed to seeing that Barron has a normal life, always shielded from all the drama that comes with being in the spotlight, Melania stayed back with Barron in New York to complete his school year, while Trump went ahead to resume duty as President of the United States. After several months, both Melania and Barron joined Trump in Washington, D.C., which was a stark contrast from the bustling city life that Barron was used to. His parents doubled their efforts to see that he was shielded from the spotlight, but the pressures helped him build his person, teaching him resilience and how to manage the pressures of life. Number 8. A memorable excursion. Since Barron's birth, one thing that has been clear is the desire of his parents to allow him as normal a life as possible. This was what propelled the action that they took in 2017, just shortly after Trump had won the presidential election. They allowed Barron to treat his classmates to a trip to the White House, where they were given the best treatment and were well taken care of. The trip involved a trip around the White House and an opportunity to meet with the president. You can only imagine how excited the children were and how they will talk about this experience for years to come. Number 7. Barron is no stranger to affluence. The White House comes with a lot of features that make life a whole lot easier for the first family, with dedicated staff to cater to their every need. However, Barron's life at the Trump Tower was already as lavish as it could be. Their accommodation spans a whole floor, providing enough space for Barron to express himself. His father is also known to have estates spread across the country. Little wonder why Barron and his mother weren't in a hurry to join Trump at the White House. Number 6. Skipping trial to be at Barron's high school graduation. Some underestimate the bond that exists between Trump and Barron. However, Trump cleared every doubt when he skipped being present at one of his trials to attend his son's high school graduation ceremony. The trial was one of the numerous battles that Trump had to face, of which he was later found guilty of all the charges leveled against him. However, on this fateful day, he was ready to put behind all the drama to be there for Barron. This shows his dedication as a parent, as he mixed up with all the other parents at the event to cheer for their children. This was one of those moments when Trump was forced to put family first and not allow all the things going on in his life to interfere with his private life. Number 5. First son to live in the White House since the 1960s. Many might not have paid attention to this, but since the time of President J.F. Kennedy in the 1960s, when he lived in the White House with J.F. Kennedy Jr., there has been a continuous trend of presidents having only daughters occupying the White House. Having Barron Trump move into the White House in 2016 brought a stop to this trend. Trump has other sons, namely Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump. However, being much younger than the rest of the Trump children, Barron was the only one who moved with them to the White House. Number 4. Barron is actually good at soccer. Growing up, Barron has shown signs of being really athletic, displaying his skills in various sports, including basketball, golf, and soccer. However, he has been more interested in the last two, while his love for soccer seems to top the list. He has had some notable outings on the pitch and has shown that he is capable of doing so much more than we imagine. He has played with the DC United Under-12 team, where he honed his skills in preparation for greater tasks later in the future. As he got older, he joined the Arlington Soccer Association Under-14 team, where he contributed greatly to the team's success and continued to hone his skills. His growing interest in the game not only helps him build new skills on the pitch, but has helped him build greater connections with his peers, and has also taught him the importance of strategy and execution. Number 3. Strong bond with his nephews and nieces. Remember when we mentioned the age gap between the other Trump children and Barron? Well, it won't be surprising to hear that Barron hasn't quite been able to relate with them as well as he relates with his nieces and nephews, whose ages are significantly closer to his, creating the grounds for more relatable and shared experiences. This also explains why he has been closer to his mother over the years. They have probably spent more time together than he has ever spent with the other Trump children, who didn't even move to the White House with them. With family all around, Barron had never felt alone as a child and got all the attention that he needed. Number 2. Relationship with Trump. Some have imagined that due to Trump's busy schedules, both before and during his presidency, he may have been distant from Barron during his formative years. This line of thought became more popular when Trump joked about not changing his diaper. However, the reality is very far from these conceptions. While we understand that there must have been many unavoidable cases of absence for Trump, considering that he was burdened with matters of the state, he actually carved out time to spend time with Barron. When he could, he made sure to be around Barron when he was growing up, sharpening the father and son bond that exists between them. Even after the White House, they have been seen at events together, some of which Barron has shared the same space with notable figures like Elon Musk. This has sparked rumors that Barron may be getting ready to take up politics like his father. Number 1. Meeting with Elon Musk. In events following up to the campaign for the 2024 election, following Trump's re-election bid, he hosted an event at Nelson Peltz's Palm Beach residence, which had so many significant figures like Elon Musk in attendance. Here, they discussed potential support for Trump's re-election and also continued support if he eventually wins. Barron had tagged along to this event, allowing him to meet figures like Elon Musk in person. This was a suitable environment to build networks which could help Barron in his future endeavors. It became obvious that Barron was no longer being shielded as before, and was being introduced to real-life situations. What are some other facts that we may have missed? Do share in the comments and we will see you in the next video.